Hey guys, so we're going to be making a pretty complicated project right now, so I thought it'd be better if I tried a recording of myself explaining to you the step-by-step instructions. I'm going to have it all together on one video, but that doesn't mean that you guys should do this project all in one sitting. So if you need to stop the video and then press play again the next day and work on it like a little this day and then a little bit more the next day, then you can do that. I have all of the details for the project listed online with pictures of examples for what it should look like when it's finished. Alright, so let's get started. So for this project, you'll have a bag that I have given out to you guys, and it will have your name on it and all these different supplies. If you're an at-home learner, I did not give you guys out scissors because I was not sure if I'd get them back. So if you are able to give me the needle back, that would be great. So we are sewing for this project and making tiny scarecrows. For our miniature scarecrows or mini scarecrows, we have several different things inside of here, but you don't need everything all at once. So leave it in the bag until you need it. The first things that you want to get out, go ahead and find scissors. If you need to pause this video again at any time, then go ahead and do so. So you have your scissors out to the side here, and then you'll get out, careful, there's some tiny buttons in here. I don't want you to spill out everything. We need this largest piece of felt in our bag. That's what we need. The first thing that I'm going to do, put this back this time. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that these edges line up all the way. And if it doesn't measure exactly, like that doesn't line up exactly corner to corner, that's okay. It's not perfect, which is great because scarecrows aren't supposed to be perfect. They're made of old clothes and stuff. The reason that we make scarecrows is for farmers to put them out in the field so crows stay away from their crops. Otherwise, the birds known as crows, they're black. They eat all of the corn and different things that the farmers are growing. And then people don't get to eat them. So the farmer puts out a scarecrow which kind of looks like him, and the crows think that it's the farmer, and then they stay away from all of that. And they don't eat the food because they're scared of the farmer. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is, if you want, you can do this with pencil first. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut a square. So I'm making overalls. Okay, so I need to make sure that you can fit at least a pinky's width on each side. Okay, because if it's too thin, it might break. So we want it nice and thick for our straps. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Let's see, it's a nice cut. I'm going to cut the other side. Then I'm going to go straight across. Don't go too far. If you make a mistake, that's totally okay. We can fix it along the way. Alright, next thing I'm going to do, this piece is no more good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and just put it in my bag though for now, just in case. The next thing I'm going to do is I am going to cut out his legs. And I'm just going to do that by drawing a line like that. And I'm going to cut. And see, now you have those parts right there. Now, if you used a pencil, you're going to have to go ahead and flip it the other way around. So I did draw on this side. You can see the pencil lines, but I don't want to see them anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and flip this guy over so I don't see the pencil lines anymore. Alright, Next thing I'm going to do is I am going to get out my needle and thread. So you have a white piece of thread and a needle already on it for you. So go ahead and get that out of your bag. Alright, so I have my needle and my thread, and the knot holds it together. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to turn it over to the back side. Since I made my mistake on this side, I'm going to call this my back side. And then this is my front. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to poke a hole, not too close to the edge, but still stay, because if you're like right on the edge, like right here, that's just going to go straight through. It's not even going to catch it. So I want to go right about here. See how close it is to the edge? Alright, now it's going to go through. Oh, I got to check it and make sure it goes through. Okay, now it's through on both sides. Now I can push through. I'm going to pull through slowly. I'm going to straighten out my string all the way across so it doesn't get tangled. That's the most important part, because if it gets tangled, then you got to start over, and that's awful. Alright, once you've made that, you're going to make sure your string is straight again, and then you're going to go ahead and poke through again, only about a couple millimeters, maybe a centimeter at most. You're going to pull through nice and slowly. If your string gets caught on the edge of his clothes, you can just pull it off gently. And if it gets all tangled when you get close, all you have to do is put your finger in it and untangle it. There you go. Nice little stitch. Flip it over like a pancake. Alright, the side you came out of is the side you go back in. Go ahead and trim this a little. You guys shouldn't need to trim this because I did it for you already. Alright, so the side you go out of is the side you go back in and out. Think about like a dolphin jumping in and out of the water. Goes in, goes out, goes in, goes out, goes in, goes out, goes in, goes out. Alright. Through again. And when it gets caught on the clothes, you just lift it up and over very carefully. I like to leave my finger sometimes inside the loop so that I make sure that it doesn't get tangled. And then I let it go at the last second and pull it through. Alright. Now I can't go back in through this side because I came out of this side. So this is where my string is. This is where I go back in. Alright, and if you get this basic process, then I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to the end when I am done stitching this side. You're going to want to go all the way down, flip it over. Okay. So when you're at the end of sewing all the way down the pants and you've come to the end, you want to make sure that you tie it off on the same side that the knot is where you started. So because I'm on this side, I need to do one more stitch going through. Also mind the needle. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to make a loop to make a knot. So make your loop. And just like you're tying your shoes, you're going to make this little loop. And then stay close to the entrance of where it's coming out right here. And then pull through. And then when you pull through, you're going to
give a quick second.
Hold and pull so that it's closest to the end right here, because you don't want a knot all the way over here. You want it way over here. Okay, it wasn't exactly right on the felt, but the knot is pretty close to the pants, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut, do not cut before the knot. Leave the knot attached to the pant still, so cut after the knot. So the knot is still on there. Now I'm going to tie new knot on the end of my thread. Try to make it close to the end. Remember, you just make a loop, put it through the loop, and pull. Alright, now I'm going to do the other side. So I'm going to work again on the back side, the same side that you've got the knots. I'm going to start on this far edge right underneath the sleeve. Don't start way up here. Start down here after the spot where the arms go through. Alright, so I'm going to make sure that it goes through. And I'm going to go turn it over like a pancake and put it through again. Make sure it goes through both sides. And remember, if you're not happy with it, you can just take the needle out again and try to stab it again. But once you pull through, you can't go backwards. Because if I try to pull backwards, it's not going to go. This is a forward moving car only. Alright, and then I'm going to fast forward to the end where I've completed this part, going all the way up and down. Alright, now that I have finished this part, I'm going to make my loop, wrap it around, and go through the hole. I'm going to hold this down so it stays close to the fabric. Pull tight, and there's my knot on this side. Cut. Alright, and I'm going to tie it again one more time. Try to make it close to the edge. If you don't make it too close to the edge, you can just trim it. Now it's closer to the edge of the knot. Alright, go ahead and start on this back side where all the knots are again. And I'm going to start this time because I don't want to show his pants leg shut, so I want to start right over here. I want to go up here and then down on inside and stop right here. So start, stop, start, stop. Alright, so go ahead and push this through. Then I'm going to flip it over and then go through again. And I'm going to go ahead and fast forward again, so I'll show you what it looks like when you're finished with this section. And if you run out of string at all, there should be some more in your bag. You just have to thread the needle, put the new string on, and I'll show you how to do that also in a second. Alright, so I only got about this far, and I am almost out of string. If I fold my needle over, it doesn't touch quite yet, but it's getting close. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to need to make a knot. So, if I go over here, and I can try to make a knot by making a loop, and then I'm going to put the needle through the loop. Don't poke yourself. Although the needles you are using are rather dull. I'm going to squish it down and in the knot right there. Now I only have this itty bitty little bit of string left, so I'm actually going to throw it away. And then I'm going to get my new the bag. Alright, so you're going to take the needle and you're going to try to get the string through the eye of the needle, which is this hole right here. You might have to lick it to get it through. When you lick it, it makes all the string hairs stick together. You just put it in your mouth, suck it like a lollipop, take it out, put it through the hole. Once you get a little bit in, pull it. If you only get one string and the rest bunches on the end, pull it back out. You got to start over. Cut that piece off and try again. Sometimes cutting the string and trying again to push it through works. Once you get it through, you're going to pull, pull, pull until your needle is halfway down the line. And I'm going to keep pulling until I see the two ends of my string line up. So when the two ends of the string line up, then I can tie them together. So I wrap it around 2 fingers to tie mine. Pull. There's my knot. Cut the strings close to the knot. And now I'm going to start again. Start right next to the last knot. Make sure it goes through on this side. Alright. And then I'm going to go all the way down and then stop down here. Alright, now I've finished this part and tied my knot. All my knots are in the back. Flip it over. I'm going to retie this part over here. I know this is getting a little monotonous for you guys, which means things just keep repeating and they're the same old, same old. But now I'm going to get out his head. Alright, oh, I did this wrong. I actually, if you still have the white string on, we need to take it off, and that means that if you have a ton of string left over like this, then you need to slip it right off the needle, and you need to get your orange string out. Alright, now, I'm going to thread this orange string through. Okay, when you have your orange string, you're going to take your 2 circles out of your bag, which are your face, and you're going to make sure, so the pencil marked parts, those are the inside. So that's my inside. We are going to start with the overalls in the front side. And we are actually going to get our button out too. And each of you has a different button. And you're just going to place it on there how you want to. I'm going to open up. I'm going to let the button slide off a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and poke through on his chest somewhere. And when the needle is just pointing out like so, slide it on. Then I'm going to pull through. Then I'm going to go back through over here. And then you can see it on the inside. Don't go all the way through, just through the top. Then pull it out through the middle of the overalls like this. And if you want to go through again, if you're able to, then you can. The holes should be pretty big on these buttons. And then the hardest part is tying it off again. So I'm going to make a hole and slip it through, hold the knot down over here. And it looks like I have a little bit of space between my knot and where the actual end of the string is. That's okay, I'm just going to cut it anyway. And make sure the knot is still attached. So if he's just hanging out there, that's okay. You did close enough. Now I'm going to tie again on this part. Cut. Alright, scooch that to the side. You got a cute little button on the front of your overalls. Alright, on the inside part of your face, the one with the pencil markings you can see going around that far edge, I have an accident right there. That means like I was just trying to cut and that was the wrong place. So, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to get out my eyeball buttons, which are these tiny 2 little pieces. Some of you may have blue, some may have pink, some may have yellow. I'm first going to start where I think an eye would be, somewhere in the middle to the side on the face. I'm going to poke my needle through like this, and then I'm going to slide the button on through one of the holes, and I'm going to pull through. And then I'm going to go again through. And then the button is on. Then I'm going to go over to this side of the face, right here. Put the other eye on. And if your button came with your needle there, just string it down the line. Then go back through. I'm going to go ahead and tie it off, but don't cut. That's just so it doesn't move around on you. Then I'm going to go ahead and get a nose going. All you have to do is go where the nose will be. You can pick. Then you're on the front side. My nose is going to be this long, I have decided. Then I'm going to go back through again. If this part is too complicated for you, you can skip it, don't worry. But you have plenty of orange to do this if you want to. If it gets caught in the button, unhook it. I'm going to go ahead and get smaller and smaller as I go down. Get closer and closer. I'm trying to make a triangle. Alright. If this is too hard, you can skip it. Don't worry about the nose. It's not absolutely necessary. If you want to give it a go, you can give it a try. If it doesn't work out, then stop where you are, tie it off, and call it a day. I'm going to go ahead and give it a tie off right here so it doesn't move around on me. Okay, tie, don't cut. Then I'm going to start over. See, this is where the one eye is. This is another eye. In the middle is the nose. I'm going to go ahead and start over here because he's going to smile. And I know it doesn't look like much on one side, but he is going to start smiling. I'm going to go a meter over. And then I'm actually going to go back and connect it. This is called a back stitch. And I'm going to go to the next spot. I'm going to jump. So the back is where you jump. And then I'm going to connect my lines on the front. Okay, now I want my next spot to be here. This part, involving a new stitch, may involve some parent help. If you haven't had parents helping already. Alright, when you're done with your smile, try to tie it off. If you can't tie it off because your needle is too close to the thread, all you have to do is just detach from the needle side. So I'm going to put my scissors through. That to the side. And I'm going to tie it off over here. Alright, so when you're finished, you should have a complete set of overalls and a face. And this concludes part 1 of the project. I'm going to start another video that you may resume anytime you want to work on this project.